Hi guys, welcome to San Francisco. I just got off a flight. It's 10 p.m. I'm making a video. I'm feeling kind of tired. It's been a real whirlwind. Today we saw two schools in Los Angeles. The first one was Sequoia School in Pasadena, and there were several things about Sequoia which I just loved. One of the things that I loved about Sequoia was the concept of stewardship. And stewardship means that kids have responsibility for taking care of their own community. And this comes in the shape of every Friday, for a certain amount of time toward the end of the day, the entire school does community service around campus. So that might be gardening, it might be cleaning something up, it might be building something, it might be serving in student government. So student government is a real driving force at Sequoia, and so many students participate in student government, and there are a lot of different committees in student government. One of those committees is old school, new school, and so they want to, with that committee, I think, help keep tradition at the school perpetuated, but also move forward. So that's kind of an interesting concept, and that idea came from the students. And that, I think, is kind of at the heart of Sequoia, is they really want their students to take ownership over what happens at the school, and that's why stewardship works. Another really cool thing that they do at Sequoia is kids cook lunch, cook a hot lunch for the entire school on Fridays. Now, of course, the parents might help out, the teachers might help out, but they have this community lunch on Fridays where students are active in actually preparing the meal. And then the other thing that they do, well, actually so stewardship is one of the big things that they do. Another big thing that they do is something that I've not heard of before. We've talked about project-based learning, but they have something called place-based learning. They really believe in getting off campus in order to learn. So, for example, one of the things that they were studying recently, and I think they said this was in a 5th, 6th combination classroom, was the concept of democracy. And so as they were studying the concept of democracy, they were weaving it into a lot of different aspects of their curriculum. They were presenting a play that had to do with democracy. They were acting out some sort of Greek democratic story. But what really intrigued me was they took the kids on a field trip to downtown LA in order to see the Occupy LA movement. So the students were there observing, and then they met with different government officials to talk about how effective organizations and movements like Occupy LA really were. And so these students really get hands-on opportunities to contribute to their community, to engage their community, to go speak to adults. And the last thing about Sequoia, which really fascinated me, was that they go camping twice a year, starting in 1st grade. And when they go on these camping trips, even in 1st grade, it's a 3-day overnight trip where the kids are camping out in the desert, and they're serving as scientists out collecting field evidence while they're out there, and they're learning independence, and they're learning to be explorers and to be curious and to be aware of the world around them. And it moves up until you get to middle school, and they call it junior high. In junior high, you actually do you actually make a trip down to Mexico to do the same kind of work. It's really kind of cool. The second school we saw today was the Da Vinci Innovation Academy in Hawthorne, California, which is near LAX. And this school was unlike any school I've ever seen anywhere on the planet. The thing that makes this school stand out among all others is it's called a homeschool hybrid school, which I've never heard of until today. At Da Vinci, the students actually attend school 2 days a week, and then they're responsible for their own learning 2 days a week, and that takes place at home through homeschooling. And then on Wednesdays, they actually have enrichment opportunities. They could work at home or they could come to school and take some sort of enrichment class. And the enrichment classes are classes that move them beyond their core four and take them into things like foreign language. They may do yoga. They may do jewelry making. It could be any variety of things that they might do in their enrichment. So imagine only going to school with your teachers 2 days a week, and then you're at home with your parents working with them on your schooling for 2 days a week. And in order to make this happen, one of the things that the teachers at Da Vinci do is they offer training for parents, and that training takes place on a regular basis. In fact, the principal told us today that already it's November and the teachers have offered more than 100 different presentations to parents to teach them how to teach their children at home. So it really is an amazing community where the teachers are not only teaching the students, but they're teaching the parents as well. Never seen anything like it. So that's the first part of the school that really made me stop and think, wow, I've never thought of doing school that way before. The other aspect of Da Vinci which intrigued me was the concept that they have no rewards and no punishments. And they believe in natural consequences for everything that a student might do. So if a student is tardy regularly, they're not sent to the principal's office. They're not held after. They don't miss recess. They face natural consequences for being late. What those natural consequences are, we let nature decide. And then the other thing that they do, which goes along with no rewards and no punishments, is they have no grades. No grades at all. But instead, the students are responsible for presenting their learning in something called a POL. So the POLs happen twice a year, and a POL is a presentation of learning. And we've actually seen POLs at Wildwood and at High Tech Middle. So this is, and we may have even seen them at Sequoia if my memory is serving me correctly. So presentations of learning seem to be something that we're seeing over and over and over again, and that is that students at the end of a semester are required to stand up in front of the community, in front of fellow students, in front of teachers, in front of parents, and they need to basically prove what they've learned. They need to present how they've grown over the course of the semester, and a panel decides whether they're ready to move on or not. So that's an intriguing concept to consider as well. So tomorrow we're in the San Francisco area and we're seeing a school called the Castilleja School, and then we're spending the afternoon at Stanford University. And at Stanford we'll be seeing the D School, which is their design school, and we'll also be talking to the principal of Stanford High School online. So I'll have a lot to report tomorrow. It's going to be another late night, but I'm really excited about what I'm going to see tomorrow. I can't wait to see Stanford. Until then, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for listening through this whole thing. It's tough when you've got to cram 2 schools in. I miss you. Have a great evening, or a great day, I guess I should say. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.